Jonathan James, extensively known as Sramraid, was a fabulous hacker whose moxie and conduct significantly impacted the cybersecurity geography during the late 1990s and early 2000s. His life story is one marked by extraordinary gift, legal troubles, and woeful consequences. Born on December 12, 1983 in Miami, Florida, Jonathan James displayed an early seductiveness with computers, demonstrating exceptional specialized capacities at a youthful age. Early life. The launch of his hacking trip. Jonathan James was born on December 12, 1983, in a small ville called Pinecrest that's located in Miami-Dade County, Florida. His father was a computer programmer and his mama was a housewife. His interest in computers began at the age of 6 when he'd regularly use his father's computer to play videotape games. James's parents snappily realized that their son was spending too important time in front of the computer screen and tried to put restrictions, which ultimately James bypassed using his hacking seductiveness from a veritably youthful age. His interests gradationally changed with age, from playing games to learning the C language. His curiosity about computers came to light as a surprise to his father when he came home one day to see that his particular computer was converted from Windows OS to Linux OS. James installed Linux on his father's computer out of curiosity to test the strange operating system and understand how it works. During his teen times, he came hung up with computers and technology as he was spending utmost of his free time day and night on his computer. At the age of 13, this led his parents to take stronger measures and took down his computer. He ran down from home, refusing to come back until his parents returned his computer, averring that programming and videotape games were not affecting his grades, as he was getting high marks. Latterly, it was set up that he addressed into the network of educational institutions in Miami-Dade County and corrected his scores in the reports. Around that time, James came up with his hacking alias, Sramraid, as he spent utmost of his time communicating with other hackers online and learning further about playing day by day. At the age of 15, James had enough of playing his educational institutions and set bigger hacking pretensions. Between June 23, 1999 and October 27, 1999, he committed a series of intrusions into colorful systems. His first target was AT&T Bell South, one of the largest telecommunications companies at the time in the US. The hacking details aren't fully known, but Sramraid addressed into the company's waiters without doing any damage. His main thing wasn't to benefit or steal information, but further about testing his hacking capacities on a bigger target like AT&T Bell South. In June 1999, he was looking for vulnerable waiters to connect by bypassing their firewalls. When he set up one in Huntsville, Alabama, he went on and installed malware on it. He managed to escalate his boons into the system and also rotated to another 13 computers on the compromised network. The network unexpectedly belonged to a unit of NASA, the Marshall Space Flight Center, located in Huntsville, Alabama. The unit has a lot of significance for NASA, as it's the place where they develop and test rocket machines, as well as communication systems for the ISS, International Space Station. Sramraid gained access to a program's source law, which controlled critical rudiments of life support of the ISS. The system was designed to maintain the physical terrain in the living apartments of the ISS, and it was first estimated to be worth millions of bones. After NASA security experts discovered that their network was compromised, they dissociated the Garçon alongside the compromised machines for 3 weeks to dissect the intrusion, which led to 40,000 bones in direct damages for NASA. The FBI was working with NASA as they informed them as soon as they detected the intrusion and began tracking down the dangerous hacker. James was still a schoolboy, as he'd attend classes in the morning and hacking for fun at night. At the end of his hacking trip, in September 1999, Sramraid detected a backdoor install on a Garçon in Dulles, Virginia, letting every stoner on the internet connect to it. Without an alternate study, he connected to the Garçon and installed a smelling program to block all the network business that was going through the Garçon, including login credentials, etc. The compromised Garçon belonged to DTRA, Defense Trouble Reduction Agency, a monstrously significant division of the U.S. Department of Defense that was assaying external pitfalls to the country's national security. James went on and blocked multitudinous credentials of DTRA druggies, leading to him getting access to dozens of computers of the Department of Defense. He managed to download thousands of letters from dispatch druggies working for the Pentagon. That was the first successful intrusion into the internal networks of one of the Pentagon's external units. This hack went on to be his last bone. The last intrusion didn't go unnoticed because of the significance of the target. In January 2000, Defense Department agents, along with Pinecrest Police, progressed to order an arrest for James. On January 26th, agents with invulnerable vests and ordnance raided his home and arrested him. They seized 4 PCs, a laptop, and 1 fun computer from the house. That made James the first chick to be doomed federally to a term of confinement for computer hacking. James was laboriously cooperating with the investigators and explained to them in detail how he was suitable to hack them. After the fresh insight about his capture, he became renowned at his school and offered public remarks to the media, blaming the public authority for not going to security lengths on their PC network. He brought up that he knew everything there is to know about the CPC programming language, eagerly concentrating on the entire constantly to be in a situation to think twice about frameworks without any problem. During the examination, it was found out that James didn't run infections, didn't erase records, or change passwords. He caused no harm in any of the compromised frameworks, and being just 16 years of age at the time, served him well upon the arrival of the declaration of the decision. If he was a grown-up, he could have to deal with no less than 10 years in jail and a strong fine. He intentionally confessed to 2 implicated allegations for hacking NASA and afterward the U.S. Division of Safeguard. Adding to that, James' participation with the public authorities on the examination made the court view him to be entirely blameworthy of wrongdoings perpetrated by minors. James got a half year of house capture and a prohibition on the utilization of a PC machine for diversion purposes, yet just for studies. The court likewise made him issue a composed statement of regret to NASA and the U.S. Division of Guard for his activities. The occasions caused James serious sadness. He was many times restless in a discouraged state following the occurrences with the Mystery Administration once more. On May 18, 2008, James was found dead in the restroom of his home with a self-caused discharge twisted to the head from the very rifle that the specialists found during the strike. A self-destruction note was tracked down close to him alongside his passwords to PayPal and a few different accounts. The note expressed, "I don't trust in our equity framework. Perhaps my activities today and this letter will be a serious sign to people in general. However, I have failed to keep a grip on the circumstance, and this is my best way to fix it. Frankly, I don't have anything to do with this entire TJX story." Despite the fact that Chris Scott and Albert Gonzalez are the most risky and horrendous programmers the federal authorities have at any point gotten, I'm more tempting as a victim to general assessment than these 2 irregular numbskulls. Such is reality. Keep in mind, it isn't so much that you win or lose, yet that I win or lose by being in jail for 20, 10, or even 5 years for wrongdoing that I didn't perpetrate. This is my approach to winning. However, essentially, I'll pass on free. During the next years, numerous unsubstantiated tales coursed about the circumstances of his passing. Claims like it was arranged and the genuine reason for his demise was purportedly highly classified information that he figured out how to get when he hacked NASA and the Pentagon. The authority examination precluded any of those claims as unadulterated hypotheses and decided that James's demise was a self-destruction. A short tribute was distributed by the Miami Envoy after James died, portraying him as an extraordinarily smart young fellow, a PC virtuoso who will be remembered fondly by his loved ones. The short existence of Jonathan James will remain always engraved in the hacking local area world, not as a result of the way that James passed, however, for his unadulterated hacking virtuoso and his certifiable person. That was all that could possibly be needed for this horrible world. His hacking exercises caused no harm since his objective was not benefit, however, the unadulterated delight of hacking and testing his restrictions. A productive programmer with misfortune brought into the world in a harsh world. Jonathan James, through his outstanding specialized capacities and hacking takes advantage of, made a permanent imprint on the network protection scene. His activities, while controversial and legally tricky, focused on critical security blemishes in different frameworks, underlining the requirement for more grounded network protection measures. However, his life and sad destruction additionally highlight the moral and legitimate intricacies encompassing hacking and the significance of directing youthful gifts like Jonathan towards lawful and moral ways within the innovation business. Jonathan James' story fills in as a powerful sign of the difficulties and results looked by people exploring the crossing point of innovation, morals, and the law.